All right, I'm going to apologize in advance for any wind or traffic that runs by that kind of like messes up the sound on this video, and I'm going to try to speak loud enough that everybody can hear me. But for those of you that have been following me, you know that I'm the creator of the Amicus Smokeless Fire Pit that's crafted from repurposed 55-gallon drums. And you can check out the listing on Etsy and even the Facebook group to see what other people are saying about theirs, as well as getting specs and dimensions. And I'll put a link in the description for the Etsy listing and to the Facebook group. But also, the main reason I'm making this video today is to introduce the Amicus Jr. Now, the Jr. is basically crafted from a metal 5-gallon bucket, similar to this right here. This has chunk wood I've got in here that I've split with my Fiskars, kind of like a middle size axe hatchet hybrid. Love this thing because it's just the right size for around the house and even stowing and taking with you. And this wood right here that's in here is taken from these chunks. Now, if you check Facebook Marketplace, you can see people that sell these things, and they'll sell them by basically the equivalent of one of them big IBC tote cages, the 275-gallon cubes, look like a big ice cube with a cage wrapped around it. They'll sell them in that quantity, and you just take your truck or your trailer there, and they just fill it up and use this axe to split it down to these smaller pieces. Now, if you need these smaller pieces, and I'm going to show you mine. This is mine. This is my Amicus Jr. It has all the same features in terms of how it functions as the full-size Amicus. The air gap that feeds the air from the base of the fire. The one thing about this is it's not modular. This is all fastened together as one piece. Just because of the size, you don't want to lose a part, but it has the slots in there just like the original Amicus, the Vortex slots, the 360 air from the base of the fire. And I've already had a few fires in this one, and I've burnt all the excess paint off. I did a little light surface prep with a Scotch-Brite pad right here and a little bit of this high temp paint. Now, there's enough paint in this can to paint this thing 3 times. So as you use it, you need to do touch-ups. You can continue to touch it up and keep it looking new. It's important to go ahead and paint it after you've had a few fires and you've done your surface prep, just because you want it to last a long time and it's going to protect it from corrosion. I'm going to set that down right there. Now, the hallmarks of the Amicus original was to create a product that's affordable, it is compatible with other products, and it's versatile. Okay, but a lot of those same features carry over. Here's one that I crafted out of a bucket that was previously housed wood finish, and just like the Amicus original, it has the sheet that's cut out from the top is laminated in the bottom. That gives it the additional strength. As you can see in this one has that screw-in lid, and that's smashed flat, and that laminates to the bottom. And I did have to use some additional materials from the waste product from the Amicus originals. I saved some of that material, and that is used to create these legs on this particular bucket, and also the inner liner, the inner drum. These buckets were only 3 gallon. They're a little shorter. I can't quite get a complete fire pit out of it for the Amicus Jr. So I used some leftover materials that are from the other larger fire pits. But let's talk about why you would want an Amicus Jr. Obviously, it's light, it's extremely portable. It has a handle on it here. I've got about 50 of these on hand, so I'll be listing these on Etsy soon. Maybe I'll include a link to that, or I'll just put a link in the bottom of the description that goes complete to the Etsy page so you can see this one. As far as compatibility, this is a really cool grill. I found this on eBay by a company named Barbecue Dragon. And what they make this for is they make it for charcoal chimneys. those charcoal starters for conventional fire grills, so you're just cooking for 1 or 2 people and you just want to have something that's big enough. Well, as it happens, this 9-inch diameter nests almost perfectly right on the top of the Amicus Jr. Okay, and it won't slide around too much because of this raised lip right here, but it allows you to grill on the embers from your wood fire and be able to just pick it up and take it in the house and serve up the steaks, the chops, the bratwursts, whatever it is you're grilling on these. And the great thing about this little tiny grill, it cost me like $25, is it's small enough that you can just wash it in your sink, and wouldn't do it with a wood handle in the dishwasher, but it's really easy to keep it clean because you know it's going to get food stains and stuff on it from grilling. And that's a great product. I've used this a few times. It's really, really awesome. I'm not getting paid to endorse it. I just like it, you know, so I figured I'd tell you about it. The other thing that's compatibility. And then there's versatility. When it comes to the Amicus Jr, you know, this is great for people who have a really, really small backyard or patio. They don't have a large space, or or they want something that they can take along with them in their RV or camper that's not super huge, and they can use a lot of different types of fuels in it. You know, just from what you found in the woods, gathering up sticks. It's not overly large, or you can bring along some of these cut pieces from those blocks in a big burlap bag, whatever you want. But there's other types of fuels you can burn in this. And one of the ways that you utilize that, I'll just set this over here on this one, is I don't know if you know what this is. This is a bamboo, or not a bamboo, it's a stainless steel steamer basket. Opens up like a flower, okay? It comes in about 9.5 inches across. And there are some plastic components when you buy these in the store. You just take those off. It's got a little stem that sticks in here. Take off all those things. And as it happens, when you collapse this, you can drop it down inside the Amicus Jr, and it nearly fills up the entire bottom. Okay? And why would you want to have this? Well, it elevates the fuel. It elevates the fuel to allow sufficient airflow. Now, with these chunks, that really isn't a problem because the air gaps between them create sufficient airflow. But what if you don't have access to this? If you don't have access to this type of wood, or maybe you're not going to have that many fires, there's always wood pellets. Okay, these wood pellets are available at most farm stores and home improvement stores. They come in 40-pound bags like this. And if you pour these in on top of this stainless steel steamer basket, you get about 5 pounds of pellets in there. Fill it up just to the bottom of the Vortex secondary combustion slots. And then what you're going to want to do, the best way I've found, I've experimented a little bit. You got gel fire starters, which are great. You can use all sorts of fire starters, but I like these little cubes, these fire start cubes. They look like this. You can get a good, there it is, good clarity on that. And what you want to do is you want to kind of smash this up and crumble it. You know, you can start it with just a cube, but when you're burning pellets, you know, you don't have a lot of airflow through the bottom because they pack together so tightly. You get plenty of air around the sides for the secondary combustion, but you do need that primary air to get a good clean burn and to get it going fast, so you're not all smoky. So you break this thing up. Just take a hammer, a mallet, while it's in the bag still, and just kind of smash and crumble it. Then you tear open the bag and you sprinkle it around all over the top in different areas. So then you just use a long stick handled lighter, and even maybe if you want to use lighter fluid, doesn't really matter, and just light it up, and you've got tons of little tiny small flames from this crumbled up fire starter, and that's going to be a great way to get your pellets. This pellet fuel, you know, it packs so tightly that you need to have something that's going to start all over it, all around it, because without it, you're just going to have a tendency to smolder, and you don't want that. You know, so I found that these little cubes are the best thing to get the fire going. Now, when it comes to the maintenance of the fire, you can do nothing, load it with 5 pounds, and my experience is once it's fully going, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get it fully underway, and what happens is you get about 40 minutes of burn time, actual flame. And there's a video on the Facebook group. You should check that out. I'll add it to the YouTube channel. But that video shows what the flame looks like burning pellets. I've already got one loaded up on YouTube that shows what it looks like when it's burning the chunk wood. All right. But once it's fully going, if you don't do anything to it, you're going to get about 40 minutes of actual flame time. And then these are going to be charcoal embers. And they'll be black. In daytime, you won't even be able to tell that they're hot. But you put your hand over it, you're going to feel the heat. And that heat that you're feeling from those embers laying inside there, it goes for about 2 hours. And we're talking cooking temperatures that you can use this after the fire's gone out. So you're at camp, you don't have access to chunk wood, you can use the pellets. You can go gather some stuff in the woods if you want to. But for those of you that live in like a multi-unit housing complex and you just got that little concrete slab and a little fence on either side separating you and your neighbors, and you don't want to have a big overwhelming fire, especially in the summertime, the Amicus Jr is great for that, because with one batch load you're getting about 40 minutes of flame time, and then it's just embers. And I noticed while it was burning, unlike hardwood, you don't get the embers and sparks throwing out. Now you can maintain this fire and keep it going longer, but you're going to have to do a couple of things. Wife doesn't know I got this. It's one of her slotted spoons from the kitchen. And you just throw that in on top of the fire as it's still burning. Don't wait till it's out. And then once you throw it in there, you'll see that white smoke accumulating around it. And then just take a marshmallow or a hot dog roasting stick and just agitate. And the agitation is what's going to create the air spaces and keep that fire going. And I was able to keep a fire going for well over an hour, hour and a half, just adding pellets, agitating occasionally. And then when you're ready for it to go out in short order, it won't take very long for that to go out. But there's even more when it comes to the versatility. And this is something I tried and it worked out really, really well. I got a short video. I'll add that to the Facebook group and I'll throw it on the YouTube channel. But charcoal, you know, if you just want to cook and you don't really need a fire for ambiance or atmosphere or for roasting marshmallows and hot dogs and keeping the kids entertained making s'mores, and you just want to put a layer of this charcoal down on that same steamer basket, a stainless steel steamer basket. Now it's all rusty because stainless will rust eventually, especially when it's exposed to heat like that. But you just put a nice layer of charcoal down on top of there. Light it like you would any other charcoal grill. When the flames go out, you're ready to cook. You know, I went with the match light just because it's just easy. You know, you light it up and one catches the next, and before long you got a good flame going. And then when the flame dies down, you're ready to start cooking. And that's where this guy comes in. You know, so I think that what I've got here is a really versatile product. It's going to be super affordable. And it's going to allow people to use it that otherwise wouldn't be able to have a fire pit, or something that's ultra small and portable for your camper, your RV. And you can take it inside when you're done, when it's all spent, completely cooled, and you flipped it over and emptied out all the ash. You can store it inside because it didn't take up a lot of space. As a matter of fact, the ones that get this ordered on Etsy, it's going to get shipped in a box. You might as well just save the box. And save the box to use that to store it in your camper, your RV, or wherever. Just make sure that it's completely out, you know, and cold to the touch. You don't want to put it in a cardboard box when it's hot, obviously. But I think that covers just about everything when it comes to the Amicus Jr. I appreciate comments from people. Let me know what they think of it. I think that this here is going to introduce fire pits and wood-burning fires to people that otherwise couldn't enjoy it, possibly couldn't even afford it. And then later on, I'm going to put together a video and a materials list, because I believe that with the right stones, paver stones from Home Depot, you can create a really attractive stone surround that this will nest very happily down into, and turn your outdoor patio space, even if it's tiny, into something that is just an oasis and a relaxing atmosphere for you. And especially in the summer months, it's July right now, we'll be heading into August soon, and you just don't need an overwhelming, super hot fire You just want the ambiance of it, and you know, it's great for 1 to 4 people to just sit around. So I can drone on forever about it. So you guys leave some comments, ask some questions, let me know what you think of it. I've got a limited supply of these these are they're reclaimed, but they were never used. These buckets were new. The interior on these ones is actually from a previously sourced and previously used 55-gallon drum. The sheet metal from that, I've shaped it and made it into the inner drum. Also the legs, and of course, you know, to extend the life of the fire pit, I've relined the bottom with the cutout from the top. That's repetitive, I know, but one of the ways to make sure that your fire pit lasts a good long time is to clean it. Get that ash out of there. Ash becomes caustic or corrosive when it becomes wet, and it's just going to shorten the life of any fire pit. It doesn't matter what fire pit you have or even what material it's made out of. When you expose the metal to a corrosive substance, it's going to shorten the life of the fire pit. So you take care of it. This is going to come in, you have to go to the Etsy page to find out exactly how much I'm going to charge for this shipped, but it's going to be under $100. You know, a lot under $100. So go check it out. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Really want to see those comments. Let me know what you think of it. And until the next time, thank you.